Welcome everyone to my channel Everything PS. With UMD. In a new tutorial in Premiere Pro course. Do you want to learn basic correction options? Use the correction controls in the Lumetri Color panel. Then you are in the right place to be. Let's start our tutorial. For this tutorial, I'm working with the 0601 Basic Correction Options Premiere Pro project file. You can find this with the media associated with this tutorial. Just double-click on it to open it in Premiere Pro. Once you have the timing of your edited sequence just right, it's likely you'll want to adjust the appearance of your clips. There are a wealth of special effects available in Premiere Pro for bringing a focus on the Lumetri Color panel. The first clip in this Ninja Sonic sequence is a little dark. I'm going to switch to the color workspace. And this brings up the Lumetri Color panel. If it doesn't, just be sure to click on the panel menu here in the workspace panel and choose reset to saved layout. In the color, workspace clips are selected automatically when the timeline playhead moves over them. See as I drag across here. Each clip is highlighted. This is based on the track selection buttons. That's this column here with the track names are. And it's worth noting that these are distinct from the buttons to the left which of the available source selection buttons. Going back to this first clip. All I need to do to brighten this up is drag the exposure slider to the right. You've got more subtle controls available here. But very often just moving the exposure slider will fix these kinds of simple issues. The fourth clip in the sequence. This interview one shot has a pretty strong tint. I can see just by eye that there's too much magenta in this shot. So to fix it, I'm going to drag the tint slide over towards the green. And that does a pretty good job. You'll notice that each section in the Lumetri Color panel here is called Basic Correction, Creative, Curves, and so on, has a checkbox to enable or disable it. So if I disable the basic correction, you can see the original state of the clip. And if I enable it, you can see the result after I've adjusted the settings. This is pretty useful to compare the before and after. I'm going to reset this tint control by double-clicking on it. That sets it back to the default on 0. And now I'm going to use this eyedropper to automatically adjust the color. I've clicked once to select the tool. And now I'm gonna look for something white, like the lettering on this t-shirt. But before I click, I'm gonna hold down the Control key here on Windows. This will be the Command key on Mac OS. And you can see when I do that, I get a larger eyedropper. This means Premiere Pro will take a 5 by 5 pixel sample getting me an average of the colors. And this will often give you a more accurate result, particularly if you're working with noisy footage. I'm going to click. And automatically you can see we've got a better result. And both the temperature and tint sliders have been adjusted. I have a second sequence in this project. Travelogue sequence, it's here. In the bin as well. And the last shot in this sequence is a little bit flat. It doesn't have very much contrast. So I'm gonna fix this. Again in the Lumetri Color panel. By dragging the contrast slider to the right. And that looks pretty good. If I drag this all the way over, you'll notice that we begin to get some crushed colors, which might be the desired look. It looks a little bit more filmic perhaps, but on this occasion, I'm going to put it back a little, to get something a little more natural looking. Now that I'm happy with the adjustments that I have made, I'm going to go back to the editing workspace and continue with my project. There are a few other clips in this project you can experiment with. And of course, there are several categories of controls in the Lumetri Color panel. Ultimately the measure is whether you're happy with the results. Here we go, we are done for today. Don't forget to sub, like, share, and leave your comment down below. See you next time, goodbye.